And today's topic we're going to be talking about. Hi, Lolitsa. So I am doing live in two platforms right now. I am here on TikTok. Hello, TikTok people. My name is Joanne. Nice to meet you. I am here in Amsterdam. And hello, YouTube. This is my first YouTube live. So definitely jumping and making something different this week. Um, so today's live we're going to be talking about mindset. So habits that help people, help me personally, and I know will help you too, so that you can unstuck yourself in this life. Okay, people who are struggling to take action. This is your life. People who have big dreams and maybe you're feeling not motivated. This is as well your life. Hopefully, this is valuable for you. If you stay and decide to listen to this live, I really am in advance appreciative of your time. You're giving me something that you won't get back. All right. So, just a quick reminder, if you guys are procrastinating right now, all right, and you're just, maybe watching because you don't know what else to do with your life, just let me remind you, hey, you should have dreams. You should have that vision that you want to accomplish in life. All right. And I am here to remind you that you can make that happen. All right. I know sometimes life can really distract you. A lot of events can distract you from your own potential. Let this be that reminder. It's time to take action. Our time here on earth is very limited. Okay, I don't want you to, to have this panic or anxiety like, oh, I need to take action, I need to take action. But this is just a daily reminder that yes, you can rest. Yes, you can curl up on your sofa, but not for 8 hours or 2 hours. Okay, I really want you to make whatever it is possible to get yourself to that next best version of you. Okay, so quick rules here for our life today. All right, be nice in the chats. Hi Maga, La Brotherhood, Rob, Wangze, Del Rey, Osmelin, Lupe, Peeps, Eris, Ika or Isha, Aisha, Mr. Chris Roach, looking at the mm, darling, Danielle Valencia Sin, Lydia Menin, Wounded Heart, Easy. Welcome to this live, everyone. Let me know in the comments below, where are you from? So what I do normally, so is I used to create logos for people who are business owners. So I can create. I'm a graphic designer. I learned by on my own. Okay, and but now I really want to be focusing on consulting, right? Helping people find the story behind their business. So if you're a business owner, all right, just know that I am a brand voice consultant and I really like talking about vision, clarity. So finding that story, that why, that fuels everything that you do in your business. Whatever it is that your business is, maybe it's your personal brand or your small business. I'm passionate about finding that story that fuels everything in what you do. Okay, so I am doing 5 free consultancy. Thank you for the hearts, appreciate you. 5 free consultancy. I am also building my portfolio, so I help you completely for free. No need to compromise. If you're a business, existing business, I can help you. And as I said, no compromise, and it will be part of my portfolio. So DM me consultation if you are interested in that. Okay, so let me remind you guys, our topic for today is mindset. Okay, let me know in the comments below, where are you guys from. Let me know in the comments below, where are you guys from. Hi Cuatro, where are you from? Let me know in the comments below. So my name is Joanne. For those who are new here, comment new. Hi Blessed Panda. Appreciate the heart me. Hello. Tom is from Ireland. Hello. Tom. I think it's the first time that I have someone from Ireland. Wow. Let's celebrate Ireland. Yeah. Bless Panda. I'm so happy that you're always here. You catch me. Did you sleep though? Kuya. Kuya Bless Panda, did you sleep already? Tom, welcome to this live. So I like talking about habits that help people change their life. I like talking about mindset. I also like talking and love talking about God. So God is a huge part of my life. Okay. It helped me change my life. So if you guys hear me talking about God, it's just because it's me. Okay. I don't want to hide anything. That is huge part of myself. Have to support Gandang Puso. Thank you so much, Kuya Panda. Appreciate you. So today, you may have already, Kuya Pandam, you may have already listened to this live that I have, but I am always appreciative of your time. Thank you so much. So today we're going to be talking about habits. Do not hide the God in you to blend in. That's exactly. Well, yes, that is what I try to say, since it is part of my life and it is what I am passionate about, talking about the changes that happened in my life. So in a hopeful way that it will help others as well to change their lives. Okay, a little bit of context about me, you guys. I was working in Germany for 5 years, so I am now in the Netherlands. All right, and I've gotten into like a darkest place there in Germany. Like, how would you say, like burnout. Okay, I've gone through burnout, almost depression. I didn't go through depression, I don't think so. But it was one of those situations in life that I don't really recommend to anyone. Okay. It's struggling to take action. If you guys have gone through this struggles to take action, you don't feel like you have energy to make anything possible in your life, and you feel like you have this heavy feeling in your chest, like an emptiness in your chest. Those were like my symptoms. Okay, I feel like I was not growing, just unfulfillment in general. Okay, and I was crying a lot. Anxiety, yes. So I had anxiety as well. So for example, how would I describe my anxiety back then? I would arrive at home and I would be excited, to do things that makes me happy. Something creative, something that involves creation. But I would find myself with no energy. So in the end, I would start doing something, but I would feel too exhausted to finish something. So I would be enrolling myself to courses. I would buy aquarellas, but then never really painting anything. All right. So I would feel bad, and that will convert into anxiety. Okay. But finally, when I met God, or when God saved me in that dark place, from that dark place, God saved me from the fire. Um, I started seeing things that I was doing wrong. Okay, it's just giving me new eyes about life, and it's just really life changing. It's having new lenses. So for me, it was so clear that I needed to quit my job because I was doing something wrong, and it was time now to build with God. So I had everything in Germany. Hello, Stefanita, appreciate you. I had my apartment, I had stability, or what would they call a beautiful life from the outside. But as I said, you guys, I was empty inside. Do you guys have that feeling? Like everyone else is clapping around you, but somehow you don't feel happy. Right? Can you guys relate to that? That was the place where I'm at. So when I eventually left everything behind, okay, when I finally was able to obey and listen to God, God prompted me to leave everything behind. Everything that I have built was not with God. So that was a test, for me, it was a test that I struggled with, to leave everything behind, follow that calling that is in my heart, which I think it's God, and start over. Start over in a new country. All right, so what helped me start over? So the first habit that changed everything, you guys, as I said, if you're too surrounded by noise, who here wants more in life? You guys want more in life, right? You guys have dreams, you have visions. Let me guys center YouTube a little bit because I am doing live as well in YouTube. It's the first time that I'm doing live on YouTube. Hi K6. Appreciate you that you're here. Alright, so comment below if you want more in life. Like you imagine yourself in a higher version of you. You know, maybe you're more confident. Maybe you wanted to be more free. I was that was one of the things that I was imagining myself. I wanted to be free. I wanted to be able to use my body more to move around, you know, like a healthy body can take you from one place to another. But I was stuck in a job that I didn't like. So I was craving for a lot of freedom, like location freedom in that way, and also be able to do things that makes me happy with my own time and energy. Do you guys can relate to that? Do you guys sometimes feel that you're trapped in a place and you can't do things that you like? Um, there is no blood in my shirt. Okay. Hi, Adventure Seeker. Maybe it is just lipstick, but I don't think I have blood in my shirt. Okay. Anyways, what I have done. So, number one habit that changed my life. All right, in my case, is silence. Silence. What is silence? Like, what do you mean silence? It's spending time with yourself. That is the number one habit. It is meditation. Call it meditation or call it prayer. All right, but it is a moment during the day that you dedicate to understand your thoughts, to listen to your inner compass. Okay, if you guys are believer of God, all right, just you know that you have that inner compass in your heart, right? You have these interests that come from your heart, right? You should have that moment to understand yourself. So if you guys haven't realized it yet, you use everything. You use you for everything. You use yourself to build, to create, to love, to give to people, to support people. And one of the best thing that I've done for myself is understand this body more in all of its aspect, like emotionally, spiritually, like the physical, like how my body reacts to certain foods, for example. It's having that knowledge about one's body, like, right, like how your soul reacts to things. Like soul is your will, your emotions, you know, your thoughts. That is your soul, and then there is the spirit, which is another thing. All right, for example, when I started spending time with myself, it was forced. All right, I was that one of those people who were really busy. Who here works 12 hours a day? Comment me in the comment section below. Okay, I was one of those people. I was one of those people who worked really long hours a day. Okay. Hi Bumblebee.es. I am here in the Netherlands, but I was born in the Philippines, but I grew up in Spain. So I am both from the Philippines and Spain. I consider myself. If you've asked me where do I feel more comfortable, I feel more comfortable here in Europe. Right? I feel like I'm always divided. Let's just say it like that. Not divided, but I know I was born in the Philippines, but to be honest, if you allow me to live in the Philippines, I would not know a lot. I would feel a little bit lost, but give me time, I will adapt. But yes, I will feel more comfortable being here in Europe. Bumblebee.es, yes, I speak Spanish. All right, Bumblebee, are you in Spain? Tom says me. Yes, definitely, right? we are working too much. So I was in that situation too. I was an F&B supervisor in Germany, working for a big hotel, and I was in charge of a team. And everywhere around me was noise, constant, you know, from work, responsibilities here, there, And if you manage a team of people, their problems becomes your problem. And for a person like me, I think I was not made for it, right? Or maybe I was just not ready for it. So it took a lot from me having that kind of responsibility. But I was really good with people. That is one of those things that my boss told me since the beginning, that I am good with connecting with people. So I can understand their emotions, I can understand their needs. But to my own self, I didn't have the time. And that was the problem. You've been serving and loving a lot of people. You've been, dedicating a lot of your own time to people, which is great. But, this is the but. When it's time to love yourself, you don't have anything. That was your problem. Okay, you guys need to have that moment to love yourself, to feed your soul as well, to feed your spirit, to make it fulfilled. Okay, so I was not having that. I was constantly busy. Da, 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 da. Work here, work there. And I felt empty afterwards. So that is what I call burnout. Okay, I've burned out myself serving a lot of people, loving a lot of people, but when it's time to serve yourself, to give encouragement to yourself, to empower yourself, you don't have nothing. You're in zero. So that is when people say to you, you cannot pour on others if you're running on empty. Okay, that's so true. All right. So my moment of silence happened forcefully. I broke my arm because of work. You guys, I was working too much. I was pushing myself too much. So I broke myself and I was put to sick leave. And that is when silence happened. In that sick leave, because of my, injury, I I didn't know what to do with myself. That is super important. When I was finally spending time with myself, I didn't know what to do with myself. That is how disconnected I was. And you people can go through that same thing. Hi, person from YouTube. Let me know, where are you from? I'm so excited. This is my first live on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Hi, Chin. Welcome. Welcome to this live. So Apex is asking, are you Cuban or what? You got food or nah? You hungry? You hungry? Alright, so Rafael, why are you following me? Thank you for following, but I haven't even started properly yet. Okay. Let me know in the comments below, where are you guys from? So Alan Revi, I am now in the Netherlands. Alright. I don't speak French, Star. I would love to learn French, but I'm on my way to learn Dutch. So I'm going to be focusing on that, and then I think to finish everything off, I will also learn Portuguese and Italian, because I already speak Spanish. So I think if I get those two languages, Portuguese and Italiano, I think I will do a better job connecting with people. All right, communication, you guys, is important. We are built to connect. Even in Hebrews 2:18, like there states that even Jesus, was tempted and he suffered from it to be able to help other people. Okay, I don't have the verse, but you guys look it up. Hebrews 2:18. Okay, it's in the Bible. If you guys have Bibles, that is there. All right. Maybe it's my mom. Mom, is that you watching my live on YouTube? My mom follows me on YouTube. I'm not sure how to see the comments here. Chat, live chat, all message. Ah, mi mama. Yes, it's my mom. Mom, appreciate you for tuning in. So cute. My mom is stalking me on YouTube. Good morning from Maryland. CR500 says, "Good afternoon from Amsterdam, CR500. Appreciate you for being here." Blackie, hello, hello. All right, so I was talking about silence. So as I said, silence that changed my life was through an injury in my life. It kind of was forced because if it weren't for that injury, I think I wouldn't have able to listen to my own thoughts, listen to what God wants me to do. Okay. Hi Glenn, appreciate you for being here. Where are you from? So greetings from the Netherlands. So I am here in Amsterdam. It is 2:49 p.m. here. I appreciate you guys. All right. So silence. Silence is when you allow yourself to listen. All right. Before believing in God, you guys, there were repeating words that happened in my life. I know this may sound woo woo, but it happened like this. All right. So during 2023 and 2024, I was already in that burnout situation. So I was watching a lot of motivational videos to survive. Do you guys agree? Like when you're feeling so bad about your life, but you don't want to admit it, you kind of look for things that will help you cope with it. Okay, so my coping mechanism was traveling and spending money on expensive restaurants and also watching a lot of motivational videos and inspiring videos to make myself feel better. And when I was watching those videos and also on TikTok, I was also going through courses in Skillshare. Do you guys know Skillshare? Skillshare is a platform where you learn a lot of skills. For example, I was learning about branding. I was learning about creative things that I could do with my phone. Hi, Queen Yomos. Where are you from? I see you there. All right. So while I was watching those things, consuming a lot of inspirational content that I thought would help me grow in my mind, there were repeating words. So the repeating words that would call my attention is listen, obey, and assignment. Those words would repeat. They were, if you guys have this experience when you see repeating numbers, do you guys have this experience? Comment yes below. And it will call your attention, right? In my case, there weren't numbers, they were words. But I ignored them because I am not superstitious. I didn't believe in anything about that. So I kept on ignoring them. But in 2024, I finally was in the sick leave and I wanted to change my life. I realized that my job was too consuming for me and I was feeling not enough to change my life. You guys know that moment in life where you finally could listen to your own thoughts. And when you listen to your own thoughts, there is a new direction in life. You realize things that you want to do, and it becomes like a command. Change your life, do something different, right? You don't want this. You don't want this life. You deserve more, and you know it. You finally listen to your own thoughts and remember the words that repeated, right? When I was consuming all those content. So when I finally listened to my own thoughts, I was not clicking yet to the words, okay? But I remember feeling so small in my life. Like, I knew I studied to be a clinical laboratory technician, but I know in my heart I don't like the job. What else could I do, right? There were doors for me to open to start businesses, and I already failed several businesses. So I felt too small, not confident to start another one. So now There were repeating words again, but this time they were not singular words. It was a phrase. It was power in you. Remember, you guys, I watch a lot of motivational videos and they somehow keep on repeating the same thing in that season of my life. They were telling those motivational speakers, like, oh, you have everything in you. You can change your life. The tools are already inside you. You guys can kind of see. Power is in you. So it was repeating and it called my attention so much that I googled it. Like, who said this quote? Like, power in you. I remember this everything that is happening in silence when I was finally not busy. I was injured. I was just at home. So I googled it because of this curiosity. It called my attention so much. And when I googled it, the results didn't call my attention. So I kept on reading and reading and reading, but there was nothing that would call my attention. So I went back up to the Google search bar. And below Google search bar, there are Google search suggestions, right? So in those Google search suggestions, I saw Power in You Bible. And remember, you guys, I was not a believer. I was not surrounded by religious people. I was not talking with anyone about God. And it caught my attention, that Google search suggestion. Power in You Bible. And somehow I clicked on it. I remember I was looking about power in you. So power in you Bible caught my attention. I clicked on it. And the Google search results, you guys, it led me to the Bible. It led me to John, the book of John, where Jesus is speaking. Jesus directly speaking. If you abide in me, I in you. I in you. And in my thought, directly, there was this power, like a God. I thought in that time, right, that Jesus is God. So I was not understanding who is Jesus. Is he God or is he? I knew that Jesus is important in Catholic religion, but I didn't know who was it exactly. But then, in my first thought, it's like, there is God in me. It's like there is a power in me, so it makes sense. And then I started crying, because everything started to click. Everything started to click finally. The listening, the obeying, the assignment. So in my moment of silence, when I was feeling small, I needed to listen so that I could obey. Because if there are commands coming from your king, coming from a superior of yours, coming from a captain, for example, of an army, you need to be able to listen, to be able to obey. You can't obey if you can't listen, if you can't hear. So that is when those words that repeated in my life that I ignored made sense. The words came back so clearly that for me it was like a puzzle piece finally clicking together. I could the thing that I needed to do was to listen, to obey, and find who I am under. Like there is a king above me. Like there is a power that I need to discover. So when I realized that we all have power, like why was I too afraid to change my life? Why was I afraid of changing my life? Those were the questions roaming in my mind. Like, if I have that power in me, why not discover more of it? So, my reaction, reading for the first time the Bible from Google, because I didn't even have a Bible, you guys. So, God can really use everything that surrounds you to lead you to the Word. Super important. So if I have that power in me, why not discover more? So that is where I started reading more the Bible to understand who is this person telling me that he is in me. Jesus is in me. And I started understanding more and more and more that this God really loves me and he wants to protect me. He wants to help me break free from those situations where I was. And as I said, you guys, I started seeing things around me that I was doing wrong, and I could finally decide because I was not alone anymore. I could finally open those doors that I have in front of me because I now know that I am not alone. Like there is power in all of us, not just in me, in you too. That's why I'm doing this live. In you too, right? So even though I was feeling a little bit afraid, I knew that there was God in me who wanted to guide me. Like he used those words and he made me a non-believer read the Bible from Google. Like how is that possible? So for me it was not coincidence. It's just God like wanting to really do something with this girl. But anyways, everything happened in silence, you guys. As I said, I was not busy. I could finally hear. And I could see patterns. That's why I could be led. So, you guys, the number one habit is to really spend time with yourself in silence, meditate, or pray, however you guys want to call it. But everything is already in you. Okay, it is there. So, don't look for it outwards. As I said, when I started seeing things differently around me, I knew exactly, for example, what I was doing wrong. I was looking for the answer outside me all the time. Like I was looking for maybe a person to save me, a work, a job to save me from situations where I actually need to look in me, use the talents that I have. You have those too as well. Trust in those talents, gifts that you have, and learn how to use your vessel more. Learn how to use your power more. Like you have those things that only you can do. You have a story that makes you unique. You have your character that maybe you haven't even explored yet. That makes you unique, right? That you guys need to use. All right. So please do connect with yourself. This is not me promoting individualism or putting yourself to in isolation. This is me explaining to you guys that you have the tools. You are as you are right now. You are an instrument. You can build, create a lot of things, but there are lies outside you that tells you you're not capable, you're too small, you're too, you don't have a certificate, and you believe them. So let me tell you, don't believe in those lies. You have the capability to be stronger, to evolve, and work with a power in you that wants you to grow, to be transformed. So don't believe the lies, you guys. I believed them myself, and that led me to, feeling not enough, feeling small. Limiting beliefs. Yes, exactly. As appreciate you. That's also why I run. Help me listen to God. J Web, let's high five. I do that as well. So when I go run or when I go, I'm not the best runner, you guys, when I walk, but I try to really learn how to use my body more. Okay. You guys may think like Joanne enjoys running. No, I am challenging myself because I need to learn how to use this vessel more. Like imagine myself, for example, if I were with my family and something happens, I need to learn how to run, to ask for help, to move my body to be able to save someone in the future. But that is my imagination, you guys know. But there are going to be challenges in your life in the future where you need to use your vessel, like to do something important. And I also pray when I walk, when I exercise. So everything like with your words. So reading the Bible, as I told you guys, reading is one of those habits that helped me change my life. So I started reading more and learning from other people. That's habit number two. Since we're already talking about it, I needed to get critical knowledge from people. So there are a lot of lessons outside school that you guys need to learn how to embrace. For example, when I started the agency that I built in the past, this is me, the old version of me trying to pursue money. I've learned in my walk with God that pursuing money is the wrong thing, right? You pursue wisdom, you pursue critical knowledge, you pursue good relationships with people, not money. Money will follow afterwards. Okay, I know a lot of people think that money is really needed, in this life, but there was this questions in my life as well that came in my mind, like, do you want God's provision or provision from men, provision from human? Because if you want the provision from men, you're going to need to go back to those old, you know, grind, hustling things. And if you guys go to Matthew 6, God tells you not to worry. Like, even the lilies or the flowers are well dressed. Not even Solomon is so well dressed like the lilies. And those flowers, same flowers, if you pluck them, they're you know, going to be put on fire the next day. Like, they're so well made. Like, how would God clothe you? Like, how else would God clothe you? Something like that in Matthew 6. I'm paraphrasing, you guys. But you should worry. And I think God wanting me to leave everything behind in Germany is Him teaching me how to communicate with Him more, to trust Him, to trust His ways, not my ways. And it's hard. Okay, you guys, it's hard because a lot of people around me wants me to pursue other things, like the thing that they know, which is the grind. And when you want to believe in God and His ways and His provision, you really want to learn how to believe more in yourself. Okay, you guys, for example, when Jesus were want to pay tax, okay, this story, where this was story in the Bible, I don't remember, but there's a story in the Bible where Jesus was with Peter, and they encountered tax collectors, and the tax collector asked Peter, like, Peter, or hey man, does your master pay the tax? Like, did Jesus pay tax? Did Jesus pay tax? And Peter say, yes, he does. So Peter goes back to Jesus, and Jesus asked Peter, so Peter, what do you think? Right, so this is me paraphrasing, you guys. But basically, Jesus asked Peter, like, what do you think here on earth? Like, do kings make their kids pay, or do they make pay the strangers? So Peter replies, they make the strangers pay. So the kids don't pay. The kids of the king don't pay. So in this story, you guys see how Jesus knows that he should be exempted because his father's temple, like the temple, is his father's house, and he is the son of God. So he knows he's exempted from the tax. But to avoid, this is humbling, to avoid problems, to avoid drama, Jesus still pays. Like, he's not, oh, I am the son of God. No, he didn't do that. Instead, he told Peter, who is a fisherman, to go fish. To go fish, and he tells Peter that the first fish that he gets from that, open its mouth, like open the fish's mouth, and you will find money for your tax and my tax. Like, Jesus giving provision from a fish, like, that's a miracle, right? But if you guys see, Peter is a fisherman. He does well fishing. He knows what it means to be fishing. So when I pray now, like, I pray, God, please teach me, who am I in your eyes? Like, who am I made? Like, what am I good at doing? Really, because I'm a multi-passionate person. I have a lot of things that I like doing. Like, how do I get those provisions that you want me to get, like inside a fish mouth? If I'm not a fisherman, who am I? Like, who are you forming me? Okay. So right now I'm doing things that I am good at. So I'm really good with people, so I just share the knowledge to people. And I really am good at helping people find their story, right? Like clarity, vision, those kind of things. I am passionate about it. So in your prayers, you should be maybe doing the same thing. Like, God, what is that activity that I am good at that I can do right now to receive your provision? And I see that. So in Peter's life, to learn how to fish, right? He needed to learn critical knowledge, like to know where to fish exactly, the locations, like his tips and tricks. He needs to know all that, not by going to school, but practicing all the time, because he is a fisherman. Hi Sharky, appreciate you. Sebas, how are you? A warrior of the Lord. Congratulations, my sister. Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel the Holy Spirit so strongly through this. Thank you so much. Mother, so the Holy Spirit is everything. And you guys, I'm just saying, sharing my story. Money never brought to happiness. Yes. So in my case, as I said, pursuing money led me to burnout. And I needed to learn the critical knowledge, or I'm not sure if it's wisdom from God, because wisdom just comes from God. That is the beautiful thing, you guys. If you want wisdom, like true knowledge, like truth, it will just come from God. The critical knowledge that we learn in our life comes from practice, people, like the school outside school. But I've learned that I was doing wrong because of that knowledge. Like, oh, I was pursuing the wrong things. Like, oh, that's why my life was like that. I was feeling empty inside. Now I know. Now I know how I broke my heart. But in that brokenness, as I said, I think my soul with the spirit expanded. When you imagine, you guys, your soul, this is another another thing that I think how it works is you have a soul, which is your will, your emotions, your mind. But when it is combined with the Holy Spirit, with the Spirit of God, it becomes alive. Like you become more excited about life. And when I was in that brokenness, imagine my soul breaking, like falling, not falling, but the shells of it falling. And then the Holy Spirit comes to it, God saves me, and I feel excited about life. It's like my spirit broke, but it expanded. So in a way, I see it, brokenness sometimes saves you. Like it helps you see the light in the dark. Hopefully this doesn't sound really woo woo, but that is what happened. Like in my darkest moment in life, I saw myself for the first time. I saw my pieces for the first time. Like I was looking at the outside world all the time that I was not seeing myself. And in that dark, light come and I saw myself for the first time. Okay, like, oh, I forgot myself. I even forgot my own dreams. Okay. When we experience ego death, we can, oh, we can become renewed. So I think I have experienced death in that way when I was saved. So bumblebee.es asks, are you Filipino, Chinese, or Japanese? So I have explained this before. I was born in the Philippines, but I grew up in Spain. Right, so I am from both countries. I feel that I am part of those countries, Philippines and Spain. But I do speak better Spanish than Filipino, right? Okay. All right. So habit number two is learning all the time. Our world is constantly changing, and our vessel needs to change. You know, needs to also transform to be able to move around with these changes that happens around us. Remember, your body, you use it for everything. You use it to build, to create, to love other people, and there are challenges in life. There's going to be always distractions, people trying to drag you down, people trying to bring the worst out of you. So you will need to learn how to use yourself to fight. Okay? Pow, pow, pow. All right. And reading the Bible and knowing, getting to know more about God made me realize that there is war in the physical and war in the spiritual. And that is powerful, you guys. You really need to learn how to improve yourself and learn how to use yourself so well that whenever these distractions happens in your life, challenges happens in your life, you know how to react. You know what are lies and you know what is truth. But it requires you to be self-aware. Okay. So remember, I don't promote isolation for yourself. Like I don't promote like loving yourself too much in a selfish way. Hopefully this makes sense to you, but I promote you to empower yourself to be able to give more, to be able to save more, to be able to love more. Okay? So, in this learning habit, you're going to go through sharpening seasons. In the Bible, they call it pruning season. All right. And if you guys are gardeners, who knows here about plants? All right. This is something that I have learned as well reading the Bible. But when you plant a fruit-bearing plant, sorry, instead of growing the branches, like too much branches, it's better to cut some of those branches because so that the plant can focus on producing more fruit instead of producing more branches. Makes sense? And in Genesis 1, after God blessed us, God told us to be fruitful. We are prompted to be fruitful. When God says, how does He say it? When He commands the heaven and the earth to exist, it is prompted, it is coded to happen like that. So when God tells you to be fruitful, you are fruitful because He commanded you to be fruitful. So you are naturally fruitful. It is in your identity to be fruitful. So you have seeds in you. What is a fruit? A fruit is a living organism with their seed inside them. It's hidden. It's something that you cannot see with your just eyes. But you have that something in you that you can produce outside you, multiply, all right, that you're going to be so good at it. Like those are gifts. I call those gifts. That you're going to be so good at it if you dedicate time sharpening yourself, pruning, allowing the pruning season from God to happen. And pruning seasons, or what I call sharpening seasons, are hard. Okay, but going through pruning season, you can produce more. And if you imagine yourself as a knife, as I say, instrument to go and fight against this war, spiritual war and physical war, you can imagine yourself as a sword. You can either build people, like shape people, with your words and yourself. You can shape yourself, build yourself with your words, but also you can destroy, just like a sword, yourself or your people. You are a double-edged sword. So that instrument, if you use yourself every single day just like a knife, a sword, you can become dull. Sometimes there's a moment in life that Even though you push too much, you put a lot of effort, you're not cutting anything. It becomes more challenging. It's because you became dull. Not because life became harder, it's you became dull. Okay? So when you go through this sharpening season, like steel sharpens steel, right? You lose particles of yourself. If you imagine yourself as a sword, you get thinner, but you become more purposeful. You become useful again because you sharpened yourself. Alright, and for the sword, sharpening season is not fun. As I said, you lose particles of yourself, you lose identities of yourself, layers of yourself, right? And you are between pressure. But that is what becomes you useful again. So learning is that way. When you learn something new, it's always challenging. When you learn something new that gets you closer to your dreams, sometimes people try to bring you down, and they put extra pressure on you. Welcome that pressure. Okay. And if it's hurting you so much, you always have the power to move, okay, to step out. Okay, don't stay in places that will just break you. Sometimes pressure, it depends on the pressure. It can break you or sharpens you. There is types of pressure. If you guys use a nail against against a mirror or the sword, that nail, instead of sharpening, it's putting pressure on the sword, but instead of sharpening the sword, it dents it, right? It leaves a mark. It doesn't sharpen it. So you guys need to see what kind of pressures you're allowing yourself in your life, like what kind of hardships you're allowing yourself in your life that sharpens you and just destroys you. Okay, in pruning season, it happens from God. Like, you will see it. Some people here going through seasons of life where nothing is happening. It's the same thing over and over again. But let me tell you, you are learning how to be more patient. All right, but proactively look for what you're learning, what you are getting from any situations in life. Even challenges can become blessings, just like my injury, right? With my injury, I learned how to listen. With my injury, I could finally see myself, even though I was broken, right? It all comes through learning, being aware of your own self. Okay, so learn about yourself, learn about your emotions, your thoughts, like why are you afraid of certain things? Learn how you can improve yourself. Learn how you can battle against those negative thoughts and how you can cope with them. Okay, yeah. Learning is the second habit. Hi, Isabel. Isabel Silva. Appreciate you. How does one know what one's identity is? So, for example, when I ask this question, you are just going to have those clues about yourself that you're good at. So that's why I tell you guys, self-awareness is key. So I have people telling me, it's your gift. It's your gift. For example, me talking about God and giving tips about mindset. I didn't know back then that I like doing it, that I'm passionate about it. After God, I found this excitement about life, and this gift of speaking and talking about God is a new thing for me. Those are gifts that you can use if you want to go deeper with it, right? Make use it to your identity, right? So hopefully it makes sense. But you have your own compass, Sebas. And what does your compass tells you about you? Like, what do you like, what you don't like, and you're going to have an identity when you have analyzed yourself. So always use what you're good at. Like, there is this principle, always work with what you have. What I had back then when I was starting believing in God is just my phone. Um, I had digital products to sell, so I started selling online. But me going live to sell led me to, I don't know how, it just came out naturally like that, to speaking more about my own experience with God, with, um, I somehow, from selling digital products, I started talking more about God. Like my way of pursuing money that way, God's plan is that way. Hopefully it makes sense. But it becomes my identity. But your identity is is going to transform. Let me show you this analogy that I have. Hopefully it helps you understand my meaning of identity is. So, all right. For example, this cup. Hi Isabella, where are you from? This cup is made to be a cup. So the identity of this cup is to be a cup. But this cup, if I use it in summer, I will fill it with iced tea, not hot tea. From Brazil. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I am here in Amsterdam. Let's celebrate Brazil. Bom dia. Bom dia, Isabela. So, this cup, it's a co-creation of identity. Okay? It's a co-creation of identity. My identity doesn't just depend on me. It depends on the season. Let me explain. This cup is made to be a cup. But if it's too hot outside, I decide because of the season that this cup will hold not coffee, but iced tea. Alright? I decide together with the season something that I cannot control, that this cup will hold iced tea. If it is winter, I will decide that this cup's purpose is to hold hot chocolate or hot coffee. If I have kids, the purpose of this can be holding color pencil. Your identity is not tied to just this. Your identity is tied to the season, things that you cannot control outside you. It's a co-creation. And this can also hold flowers. This same cup can hold flowers, can hold pencils, can hold tea, can hold coffee. Depending on the season, depending on things that I cannot control. But if I push the identity of this cup too much, the purpose, and I use it as a hammer to build a house, what will happen to this cup? This cup, if I push it too much, it will break. It can have different purposes in life. I can add like accessories to it. I can maybe change the color of it, but I cannot use this as a cup, as a hammer, because it is not made to be a hammer. Helps with identity. So this will break if I convert this into a hammer. It is not made to be a hammer. You are made for something that only you can understand. So in my case, I pushed myself in a job that I was not made to be doing. I've learned my lessons, but I pushed myself too much. I broke my arm. I was like a cup that I was pushing to be using as a hammer. So I broke the cup. I broke myself. Your foundations need to be on the rock. So I will try to understand. So I know that there is this like putting feet on the rock. All right. So I haven't gone too deep in that part. But basically, there's a co-creation that happens with one's identity. So if you guys tell me what is it that who you want to be, I will say it's God's plan. My identity. I know I can be good at speaking. I know I can be good at serving people. I know I can be just like this cup, this same cup that can have different purposes in life. But who I'm meant to be in God's eyes, I know I'm his daughter. But there is another plan that I cannot see. Only he can see it. That's what the co-creation that I'm telling you guys. There are things that I cannot control, but I know the tools that I am good at. I know that I am not to be pushing myself to be another identity. Just like this cup. Isabel. Isabella Silva. So deep. The rock is Christ. Alright, let me. Okay. Yes, so the foundation is Christ. Hi, Krisha. Like you have that identity in God's eyes. Like you have that identity in God. Like He already wrote your story. But as I said, I don't know the whole story. I just know that I'm discovering purposes or things that I can do with my vessel. And those things that I can do good are talents or gifts. Okay. Bon dia. Breaks. Yes, exactly. That cup will break if you push the identity too much. So I've gone to breaking myself, pushing myself too much in certain areas of my life. But as I said, sometimes breaking yourself also can help you expand your soul. Hopefully this makes sense. So as I said, when I was in that darkness in life, I saw myself for the first time and I met with God. Like God, I knew God saved me. Do everything for the glory of Christ Jesus. Yeah, that is also another thing. So now that I have this belief, like I know God. Now that I know God, I have I have my compass, but I also have this guidance of God. You know, like there are things that I know that I shouldn't be doing. I know that I shouldn't be, for example, hurting my brothers and my sisters in Christ or people in general. Should be loving my neighbors. So those kind of guidance about life, like not judging people. So I have the things that I can do, but I am under this, should I call it rules or law? Hi Melanudo. Appreciate you for following. Right, so learning all those things is important. Okay, hopefully, Sebas, about identity, it is really deep. Your identity is something that only you will know in the process, like when you take action with faith. As I said, I never knew that I like speaking. I never knew that teaching or giving guidance about life is something that was for me. I didn't know. If I knew, I would say, like, I want to be a speaker. I want to be uh, a motivator. But these gifts are new. The moral law is written in your heart. Hallelujah. Yes, exactly. So everything in God's glory, God's grace. So cool. All right, so ready you guys for habit number 3. Benjamin, I am here in the Netherlands. I am in Amsterdam. I appreciate you for being here. Capuchin, I'm French. I need to improve my English. Thank you for being here. Capuchin, I appreciate you for being here, but just remember, my English is not that good. I really am humbled and I really appreciate that you are learning, that you're listening to my live, and hopefully you're learning and getting value out of this. But just to remind you guys, I am not an English teacher. Okay, I am not an English teacher. If you want to learn English from me, I'm really humbled and thankful. But if you guys ask me about grammar or anything like that, I wouldn't know how to explain. Let's talk about vision, vision, goals, dreams, God, habits. I can talk more about those things. But yeah, English is not my forte. Okay, thanks. You're welcome. Say hi to people in Netherlands. Hi, neighbors from Eric. Your English is perfect. Grammar will be great. But as I said, I don't know anything about grammar. Sebas, so identity is a deep topic, okay? In the future, I will become a mom if God blesses me with kids. I will become a person who goes through a menopause. Those are things that are part of a woman's body. Like, but my identity depends on things that I cannot control, as I said. Me, I am just a vessel. I am a vessel with a spirit that can do certain things good in life. And you are too. You have those talents. You have those talents that you need to use for the kingdom, like for your dominion. I like that topic, or we're going to be talking about that topic tomorrow about kingdom, you having dominion, and you being fruitful. David C. Menopausia. Yes, that's part of every woman. Women, ladies, who is listening to this live. If you have a mom and or maybe a grandma, ask your grandmas how are they going through menopause. It's your future. Like, it's not going to be exactly the same, but when you see your mom going through menopause or your grandma going through menopause, you kind of get clues about yourself. Okay, it's part of your again, identity, your generational information. So, for example, what could you do to prevent those symptoms if your mom has like hot flashes or those kind of things? So, this is me, just another woman telling you to have that awareness as well. In our society, they don't talk about menopause, but there is a clear future that you're going to go through. Pregnancy, if you're blessed with kids, and if you're not blessed with kids, but for sure you're going to go through menopause. Take medicines. Sad part. Sad part. Yeah, but it's also for preparation. You can avoid a lot of things by exercising. Trust me. That's what, so I have read about the topic, but there are certain things that can help you avoid symptoms for menopause. Like, if you guys see women who are going through menopause, general symptoms that they go through, hot flashes, they forget things. They have this light-minded season in their life, but you can prevent those things. Like, I don't imagine myself, like, hopefully if I continuously make myself active, do exercise, I don't go through a lot of symptoms. But my mom, In her case, she struggles with energy. So she struggles with exhaustion, can't sleep well. Right? So I have a little bit of those clues. But as I said, it's not going to be the same. So this is me being part of awareness. It's not just yourself. You're part of a generation like who's gone through in life. You carry like symptoms of your family from the past. Like that is powerful, you guys. Like if you guys love that topic, you want to speak here in my life, please enlighten me. That's another topic that I love to dive into, like information that we get from our parents, from our grandparents, from the family that have gone through in our life. Okay, so yeah, prayer has power to heal. How do you change your thinking to what you have today? Ooh, this is a great question. So my thinking, it changes. You, Sebas, you have a vision. Everyone, Isabella has a vision. Isabella, how do you see yourself in the future? Do you see yourself being more confident, living a freedom lifestyle? Do you see yourself loving more your family? Alex, appreciate you for following. Sebas, you're going to have an end destination in mind. And if you see yourself in the future more confident, but you are right now shy, there is a difference. There is a difference. When you're aware that you are shy and you're maybe fearful, you don't know how to move your body freely to build things in life, there's obviously this difference. And it's on you to decide. I want to be that person. You decide, I want to go up there. I want to be that person. Now, there is a renewal of mind that needs to happen in your life. Because you decide, like, oh, I'm going to take action with faith. I'm going to go up there, like, be that person who I can see my vision. Only you can see your vision. I cannot see your vision, Sebas. I cannot see your end destination. You can imagine things that only you can see. That's why having a vision is important. Having something in your mind that you want is important. So when you see the difference, you decide how does that person looks like. You design yourself. You design yourself. So in my case, I wanted to be more confident. I wanted to be a person who is a source of light. So how does a person does her life to be that? So in my case, I needed to learn how to practice speaking. So what did I do? I learned stories from people so that I can tell stories about other people. What did I do? I go live every single day to practice. Even though maybe sometimes no one is watching, I keep on doing it because it's practice. Every single day. Every single thing that you do is practice. You guys, let me just charge my phone. It's going to die. If you guys see it, David, Sebas, David in the Bible, he was anointed as king already when he was younger. But he didn't go to the throne directly. He took care of the sheep first. He was just happily in the field, protecting his flock, protecting his sheep. And while he was doing that, he was shaping his personality. Like he was being patient, more consistent, learning how to use his body to fight against bears. And what else did he fight? Lions that wanted to eat his sheep. So he was in the field alone, no one watching him, but he was training himself to be fighting against future challenges in the future. So in the future, in the story, he fought against Goliath, a super giant. And he didn't even know how to use the armor, or he was not used to fight with swords, David. He was so used at using his own body, his sling and stone. That's the only thing that he used to fight against this super giant, because that is how he learned how to use his body. So that's why learning how to use yourself is important. And in that story, he was shaping his personality first. Like he was already anointed as king, but there is this process that transform you, and then you get to rule, like have dominion. All right. So my charger. Let's charge our phone. So practice, just like David practiced in the field, fighting in private against lions and bears. There's also that fight that you do in your life in private, without showing it to people. You going through certain situations in life, challenges in life, and you fight against it. You go through it and you learn patience, like the fruits of the Holy Spirit, self-control, kindness. What else, you guys? Comment below if you guys know the fruits of the Holy Spirit. But there are those transformations that happens in our daily lives. Like maybe you needed to help a family member. So now you're learning how to take care of the needs of others. Instead of you complaining like, oh, they have this problem again, I need to help them again, blah, 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 blah. Right? Like take it as a chance, like, oh, I am going to be tested here in patience. Let's do it. Oh, this is a test for self-control. Let's do it. I can do it because I have self-control. Oh, this is testing me how to be kind. Ah, that's it. You just get this another view in life. So whenever challenges happens in you, you think that it's training. I'm ready to fight. It's training. Why do some people find their destiny easy and others don't? I don't think finding destiny is easy. I don't know. Key is to build a relationship with Jesus. Yes, definitely. Having that knowledge how to communicate with God, all right, and knowing that you have the Holy Spirit, which is the highest form of power that we have here on earth, like our helper, learning how to be in contact with God is important. So I'm also learning about this. Um, Nowadays, I've been asking God what to wear, even in the smallest things, just to train myself in small aspects of my life, to allow God to be in every part of it. Like what to eat, should I drink coffee or not? Should I? No, I have learned already that I should not drink coffee. I am I am I am not a person who drinks coffee anymore. I am drinking tea. Um, so for Sebas, if you want to find your destiny, I don't know the answer to this, to be honest with you. But I know that you have a vision, and that desire that you have in your heart, you can plan everything in your heart, but God will establish your steps. So even though you plan everything in your heart, there is a plan that is unfolding that you cannot really see. You cannot understand it. So even though you plan, God has always have a better plan. So your destiny, I don't, to be honest, I don't really have even a proper definition for destiny at this point. Hey, why is this not charging? Are we charging? But let me tell you, Sebas, just focus on getting to know what you can do well, what you can't do well, and always ask God. Don't worry about tomorrow because tomorrow will have its own worries. Focus today. So this is Matthew 6. right? Our next breath isn't promised. So focus on Him today. Yes, definitely. So that is a great answer, follower. I was like, how to understand this? But you need to have a direction in life. So do not live in the future. You have this vision that you can see with your eyes closed. So there is this quote from Corrie Ten Boom: always live according to your vision, but not according to your eyes. So that vision is your direction in life, but you don't live in that vision. You just take action towards that vision. You shouldn't be feeling anxiety about that vision. It's just a direction. And remember, even if you have that vision that you can see with your eyes closed, God has another plan. So just take action towards that vision, but God will give you routes that are not in your plan. Hopefully. So as I said, everything is a co-creation depending on the season, depending on God, depending on God. Yes. But just have us just know that there is God that really wants to transform you in His way. So you won't understand His ways until you want to understand His ways. If you live too much in that vision that you can see and you want to, pursue it, that is great if you want to go towards that direction. But there are going to be challenges in front of you. That is for you to be pruned, to be shaping you, right? Your plan is not going to be always according to your plan. So learn how to live that way. It's almost like surrender living. Like you can't really control a lot of things outside you. But there's one thing that you can control. Those things that you can do, how you react. So be good at it. When challenges and unexpected things happen to prune you, to challenge you, to shape you, to transform you in what God's plan is in, then you know how to react. You know how to move your body just like David fighting against Goliath without armor, without sword. You can I say be a master of yourself, but trusting in God, like you are connected to God and you have that power connected with God and learning how to use it. It's going to be so so crucial because David was connected to God. Okay, remember that. He 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 was, when he fought against Goliath, he was not mad because they were insulting him. Like he was mad because these people were insulting his God. That relationship, like he wants to be fighting for what you believe. Like I prayed that prayer was like, God, I want to have that passion that David has, like to be defendant of you, like to be able to defend you in whatever other people are telling about you. Like that relationship of dependence of David wants to protect God. But we're not. I know God doesn't need protection, but what I'm saying is, like, David wanting to defend the image of his king, of God. Hopefully it makes sense. All right, let's go back to third. The third habit is writing down things. So if you have that vision in your mind, you guys need to remember it. Every single day, there are going to be distractions. A seducing man or woman is going to be in front of you, or drama, bills, entertainment, going to try and distract you to put you away from your own power, from your own potential. Like there are going to be certain moments in your life that you're going to be distracted. So I don't want you guys to forget your vision. I don't want you guys to forget who you are in God's eyes. Like you're a creation of God, created in His image. You're the daughter of God or son of God, and you are under His dominion. So learn how to remember how to get commands or orders from God, communication from God, and also know your direction, knowing your vision. How do I do it? I write things down. Why? Because I forgot my own vision for 17 years. I was too busy. I was just juggling and hustling and trying to pursue money all the time. And I forgot my own dreams because I thought that if I worked hard, I would become successful. But no, working hard in the wrong things, not aligned to what God has for me, is going to burn you out. All right. My mom is telling me to sing sometimes. My mom, she is in YouTube. Um, be bold like a lion. Exactly. So cool. But this is also part of you getting to know how to move your body. Like David was bold. Like one of the disciples were bold. Like they know what they believe in and they know how to use themselves to get to people, to use themselves to work. But in this society that we live in, they really want you to make you small. And when you try to become louder or bold, people are going to try to shush you, like try to silence you. Like, hey, don't be too, how you call it, ambitious, or don't dare to dream too much. You're going to, But those people who don't have dreams or forgot their dreams, just like me, it's because they didn't have faith. I didn't have faith that impossible things can be done in my life. I didn't have faith. I didn't believe in my own dreams. That's why I forget them. I just sideline them. I didn't see the value of it. Okay, but when you're with God and you see yourself who you are in God's sight, like created with so much fear and wonderfully made, um, created in His image, like He even blessed us, He gave us life. Like why care so much for this little being? you know but it's because you have that purpose, you have that assignment, you have that power to change things outside you. Okay, so if you have those dreams, that vision, plan everything, plan everything in your heart, but just know that God has another plan and He will use those desires to shape you. And don't forget your direction in life, because you have that direction in life and it can change. All right, it can change, but remember just to take action. All right, so what other tools help you to not forget your dreams, your vision? The other tools are going to be recording your voice, memos, and maybe listening to it every morning, every evening. Like, where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? Like, how do you want to use your talents? And how do you see yourself in the future? Okay. Writing things down. Do not forget. Even in the Bible, like God, He told us in Habakkuk 2:2, right? To write the vision, make it plain, and run with it. A herald may run with it. He didn't say write the vision, make it plain, and put it in your closet and forget about it. Write the vision, make it plain, and run with it. It means you guys need to run. When you run, you use your whole body, your whole might, your whole vessel to make it happen. Okay, so you take action. Your vision are not just there for you to daydream and you don't take action. No, you guys need to take action. All right. So number 4 is taking action. And everything you do with your vessel. Okay, that's the thing. With your vessel, if you don't even know, like you feel scared to take space, you should be learning how to take space because you're meant to move. You're meant to take space. You're meant to have dominion here on earth. Hey, using your gifts, using your abilities that you're so good at, you become king of your own assignment. That's why we call God King of Kings, right? But everything in His guidance, everything communicating with Him, getting wisdom from God, like learning how to pray, how to get the knowledge to solve things in life, learning how to use your words to ask for help. Those are all parts of taking action, learning how to use yourself. And you are that super machine that God created, super instrument. Like I am so amazed by like how our bodies are so perfectly designed. Even our faults can help us communicate and connect with others. Even our weaknesses can be used to be connection points to connect with people. That's why we have social media. Right? We have social media where people they can talk about their problems, their weaknesses, and they gather people. You know, like pain points. Pain points are used for connection and also strengths. Everything. So beautifully made. So taking action, if you guys are not comfortable using your body, learn how to run. Like running is the easiest thing, but I know it's hard, right? But that's the thing. You sharpen yourself. You learn how to move. You learn how to use your vessel to unstuck yourself. So who here feels stuck? You use you to unstuck yourself. And if you can't unstuck yourself because you've been, abandoning your body, your vessel for too long, you go and ask for help. Help! Please help me unstuck myself. Don't be blocked by pride or fear. I know, you guys, I help people start businesses online. And people are so afraid to ask questions because of the pride. And pride is a not good spirit. Pride is enemy. And I also struggled with pride. And God really humbled me a lot. Like, there's a lot of things that happened this year and last year. So I left everything behind, my possessions, material stuff, and I'm learning how to receive God's provision instead of man's provision, human provision. And that can be really humbling, especially when you're surrounded by people who just pursue money. And who wants that? Who wants that? And I'm like, okay, I need to be focusing on Jesus. I need to be focusing on God, not by worldly things anymore. And that is humbling. Super humbling. You guys imagine how many times I cried because I was fighting against my own self. It's a war. And if you don't know how God works, it's going to be so easy to be defeated. If you don't even know how to use your body, just like David, he learned how to fight because he fought against lions and bears in private. So my tip to you guys, learn how to run, learn how to move your body, learn a dance, right? Learn how to take space. Don't be shy to take space. But I know you guys, you can be shy and still take space. Okay, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Sharky, hello. You're still here. Appreciate you. Don't look for tangibles. Pray in spirit. Yes, don't look for tangibles. Okay. So hopefully this really helps you guys. So we're going to go in the fifth one. The fifth one, the habit, this one is feedback. Okay, when you take action, you're going to eventually get results. And here is something that blew my mind when I realized about this. Remember, you guys, I was taking action so much. I was too busy doing 9 to 5 grind. I was too busy working in hotels. So after working, I would disconnect completely. Who here does this? Uy, Sebas Carfer. You talk about self control, but it's difficult sometimes to have it. Try. You can train yourself. You can train yourself with small things. Train yourself with food, for example. If you love coffee too much, try having a coffee fast. In small things, right? I know people who cannot live without rice. Ahem. And rice and loving certain things in here on this world can be you creating an idol out of it. And remember, creating an idol, like depending on material things other than God, is sin. It is sin. So your coffee, if you're depending too much on your coffee, not on God, maybe you are committing something. You know, just just a tip for you guys. If you love chocolates, just like me, I love chocolates. But I know I shouldn't be depending my emotions on it, my soul on it. Like part of my soul depends on chocolate, on rice, right? Mom. So it is bad when you depend on material things that is not God. So for example, you have a rosary and you depend on your rosary too much. Maybe your rosary, even though it's a rosary, it's still material things. And you shouldn't be depending on it. Use it as a tool. Remember that you should be able to live life without depending on material stuff, lust, all those things that distract a lot of people. And self control is one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit. So practicing it, training yourself, everything is training, Sebas, everything. You start bit by bit. So I went through veganism just to try, all right? I also have this empathy for animals and the environment, but I stopped being vegan, but I know that I can live without meat. You guys can understand that? Like now I know that I am not dependent on meat. Like if I don't have meat, I'm not going to be putting my face a sad face. No. I know I can live. Now I left coffee because I used to love coffee. And I love drinking coffee. But now that I haven't been drinking coffee too much, I know that I can live life without coffee. It's every single day. And when you do fasting, for example, with food, you also get to know yourself, what you crave more, what is your body, your flesh, if you guys want to use that word, craves more. And you get to know yourself, like, oh, my body is craving for that sugary stuff. Oh, you want chocolate. Oh, you want cake. You're not going to have it because I decide. All right. But everything in moderation. As I said, don't do things forcefully. God is a gentleman. God is, Jesus is, he wouldn't force you to do things. Like you need to decide them on your own. But don't force yourself. If it's going to ruin your vessel, do it bit by bit, like small steps by steps. Um. All right. So everything is training. Imagine if you were David taking care of the sheep and your friends are having fun, and I don't think, well, maybe in David's time, if they had disco, like to party, David, since he has this relationship with God, or maybe he had those thoughts as well, who knew, right? Maybe he wanted to go party as well, but he decided he's focused on the flock. Everything is hard in life, but choose what hard you want. Mm. That helps you build habits that will, you know, help you be better. For example, if I were a party who like partying every weekend, if I were that person, if one weekend I don't go partying, I would feel sad. And that is not from God, right? Those cravings, if you want to correct yourself, you should be wanting to correct yourself. You should be fasting, deleting those things that you start to depend on. Okay, just learn how to depend on God. Hopefully, it makes sense. All right, so feedback. We were talking about feedback. So I told you guys I was busy doing life, right? And after work, I would totally disconnect. I wouldn't even think about I wouldn't even think about the results that I had in my job. Like, did I do a good performance? Did I grow in that area of my life? No. My reaction after work was disconnection, total disconnection from my job. And that is one of the signs that you're not aligned to what you want in life. When you don't even care about the results. Okay, when you do something that you genuinely care about, that is aligned to you, it makes you happy, you at least care. In my case, I didn't care. And you will guys see a lot of people, if you start seeing them, after work, they will totally disconnect. Okay? So when you start caring for your results, it's because you're aligned with it. You're genuinely interested in how you've done things, how you've grown in that area of life, right? And feedback helps you see the results, like, oh, did those results get me closer to who I want to be? Are those results getting me closer to that person that I have in my vision? That is when you know when you are doing something that is aligned to you, when you're genuinely interested in the results. In my case, I didn't have that in my job, so I know it was totally something not for me, because the only thing that I wanted was to rest, to watch Netflix, and forget about work. So number 5 is feedback. Seeing those results genuinely in your life. If you are right now in your life where you're disconnecting from your work, disconnecting from those activities that you normally do in life to earn money, ask yourself, what other activity would be helping you feel fulfilled, where you're genuinely constant, where you're genuinely looking for the results? What is it, that activity? Is it painting? Is it singing? Is it being a content creator? Okay. And once you are taking action aligned to those results that you start getting, you're going to be more interested in those results and ask yourself, all right, is this getting me somewhere? Or do I need to change the strategy? Do I need to improve myself here more? Seeing the feedback is important. But as I said, if you guys right now are not even interested in the feedback, it's just a sign. It's just another symptom of you not being aligned to what you want to do in life. Okay. So getting those feedbacks are important because you can have results all the time, taking action, being busy, taking action, using your body. But if your results are crooked, then you're not getting closer to that version of you. Correction needs to happen. And you ask God, God, how can I be better? How can I improve my results to get me closer to to that vision that I can see with my eyes closed? Please correct me. Please show me the doors that I may have opened knowingly or unknowingly that led me to this result so that I can close those doors and try your door. Okay. So you guys need to see if you need correction or not, you need to improve or not, because as I said, it doesn't just mean you have to take action all the time. You also need to be aware of what kind of results you're getting and see yourself. Are you even interested in the results or not? As you guys see this, even if you are not religious or you don't believe in God, everything points towards you. Like how you do things, how you react, how you create, everything starts from you. Everything. So that's the message that I really want you guys to have today, like habits. So number 1 was silence, right? Number 2 is learning, right? You guys can read books, you can watch YouTube videos, you can go for a course, you can go back to school, learn from mentors. There's a lot of learning that you guys can do. But as well, learn how to use yourself. Learn how to be better instrument with God. Okay. And then number 3 is not forgetting. Well, writing things down was number 3. Writing things down so do not forget your vision. Do not forget your vision. There are challenges that's going to distract you and put you away from your own potential. And I don't want you forgetting the direction of life. Like, life is going to try and really confuse you so that you end up running around in circles, so that you end up breaking yourself, so that you end up complaining about this life, so that you end up complaining, um, you know, about being empty. Again, that happened to me because life distracted me so much. I was pursuing the wrong things. So don't forget your vision. You need to have an end destination in life if you want to drive yourself. If you imagine yourself a car and you're about to drive your car, you always need an end destination, a direction at least. And all the blessings of God can happen in that route. And it can be up and down, heel upward, like, but you have a you have a direction. But remember, God will shape you in the way. Okay, so your plans will not happen always according to your plan. Thank you. I appreciate you. And those things, love painting. Those things that you see that you can do, appreciate them. Appreciate them, note them down, like, oh, I'm good at this. Oh, I'm bad at this. And when you see your weaknesses, it's just time to get busy to improve yourself. So self-awareness really is key. All right. And when you see the results with number 5, feedback. So number 4 is taking action. Number 4, taking action, using your vessel to create, to build, learning how to use your words to build yourself, to build others. Your words can really push you. Okay. If you guys see how John saw God in his vision, right? He saw God with like the swords coming out of his mouth because it's a double-edged sword. And even Jesus, in one of those, I think it was letters to the churches, he says, I am a double-edged sword. Because he is the word. And words comes out of your mouth as well. So you can build or destroy. Always use your words to build. You can destroy evil. You can destroy and cast demons away with your words. You can protect your family with your words. You can build yourself, protect yourself with your words, and empower your mind with your words. So powerful. So take action, learning how to use your body, your words, those gifts that you have. And number 5 is just getting the feedback. it's always a communication with a higher power, with God. Like seeing the results. Do you like the results or not? Is it something that is from God? Is not? Is it getting me closer there? Asking yourself questions at the end of every action. Not every action, maybe. Not to how you call it? Controlling. But just always asking God, like, God, is this something that I really need, or do I need correction? Is this the right way, God? Right? Like conversation, like ask for feedback, see the results. Is it crooked? Is it straight? Is it the right way? Okay, and you will know with your own compass and with God. You and together with God, working together all the time. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about being fruitful kingdom, and we're going to talk about hydrogen, hydrogen and molecules, atoms. So as analogy to talk about God again. Okay, but tomorrow's topic is going to be more of taking care of yourself, right? So that you can be purposeful and useful, like feel at least. But just know that if you work with God, it becomes exciting, because now what's next? Like only God knows the next plan. And you're just going to have this excitement about life. I guess it's what god God explains, or Jesus explained, like if you don't become children like this, you're not going to enter heaven, something like that. But it's just your spirit really alive. Your soul with the spirit is alive, it's growing, it's palpitating, it's like true, true, true. And when you live your life like that, taking care of yourself and getting those things that continuously expand your soul and make you feel fulfilled, getting to know those things is important. But there's a lot of self-awareness and prayer, how you call it, meditation, connecting with God needs to be done. Like there's a lot of those things that needs to be done. I myself still is getting to know a proper way to do it. I'm not yet organized, I am not perfect in doing it, but I think I would try to schedule my prayers and be more organized with it, because I know God replies prayers, but sometimes even me, I forget my own prayers. As I tell you guys, we need to write things down. We don't have to forget things that we want and we ask God. And my human brain is not perfect. So sometimes I try to communicate with God and then God replies, but I forgot what I said. Like, oh God, what was this reply for? Or oh God, or Holy Spirit, what was this confirmation for? I forgot. That happens. And you will need to find your own tools for that. But it requires you to be willing to do all those things, have that moment with yourself. Try to communicate with something that only you can feel, the Holy Spirit, a lot of things. Going to be busy. All right, everyone. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions before I go? Moar De Niro. Queen Yomos, appreciate you for giving me so much of your time. Wow, you're still here. Bantam, Chin, Hernan, Cerecita, Francis, Winnie, Fabri, appreciate you. Sharky, appreciate you for being here. Isabella. Alright, so 5 habits that are for free. You guys don't have to buy any course. You can implement those habits now, today. No need to delay. Spend time with yourself. Get to know yourself more. tune in, pray, meditation in a moment of silence. So number one is silence. Number two, learn, keep on improving yourself, keep on pruning yourself, right? Pruning, that God decides, right? But you always can improve your vessel and your knowledge. Learn so that you can be sharp. Number three, all right, if I number three was to not forget, write down your vision, not forget. Number four is taking action, and number five, results, like the feedback. Are you getting the right result or not? Okay. Remember, your results can be crooked too. You may be taking action, being busy, but you're not getting the right results. Okay, and always ask God. Alright, everyone. Have a blessed day to you too. Sharky, Sebas, appreciate you for being here, for giving me so much of your time. Appreciate you guys. And I'm going to be uploading my next video on YouTube. It's going to be about a digital closet. Alright, so if you guys don't follow me there on YouTube, so my YouTube is more, I think, personal. I also have videos about life lessons there. But the next videos that I am uploading is about a digital closet that helps me be more organized with my own things. So this is part of self-control. Me creating planners is part of self-control, like how to manage my outside things so that I am more organized and not wasting my time too much folding clothes. Because you guys, I can be so chaotic. I can be so chaotic that I need tools. As I said, you guys, when you are aware of your own weaknesses, you will need to find tools to fix them, like to improve. So me, I like creating planners. I like organizing my life that way. So that's why I create digital closet, so that I don't have to even touch my closet to find clothes. I will do it from my phone. And once I know what I want to wear, now I'm touching my closet. Because if I touch my closet without planning my clothes, it's an explosion. Yeah, you guys need to find your own tools. So everyone, follow me there. My name in YouTube is the same name that I have. It's Joanne Diane Gutierrez. Like, that's my name. Joanne Diane Gutierrez. Sharky, bye-bye. Thank you for being here and for listening. I'll see you tomorrow if you're there. Alright. Sebas, adios. Yes, I have a YouTube channel. So it's a small channel yet. I have like 52 followers, subscribers. But I have long form videos. And this live is going to be there as well. Okay. Adios. YouTube is Joanne Diane Gutierrez. I don't have, but it's my name. Joanne, con doble N, with double N, E, Diane, with E at the end, Diane, so that's Diane, and then Gutierrez. Alright, bye-bye. Thank you so much. And now, dismiss. And also YouTube, bye-bye for now. This was my first live here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. It was, wow, 1 hour, no, more than 1 hour. How many minutes is this? But see you again tomorrow. How do I even stop this? Oh, wait.